Community has had one episode pulled and The Office one episode edited due to blackface. And I'm doing these air quotations because it's not actual blackface, and I'll explain why. Now, I'm going to try and be a bit more serious in this video because it is a serious topic, but if I get a little bit, it's just how I am, you know, and especially with this sort of topic, you know, it's easy to go down the rabbit hole, but let me explain why it's not blackface. Now, I'll start with Community because it's the easiest one to explain, alright? So there's a D&D episode, one of my favorite episodes actually, because it's got a great kind of like internal storyline going on, but basically one of the most wacky characters, Senior Chang, he puts on black makeup to look like a dark elf. That's first thing, not even like a black person, not an African person, a dark elf.
Worst introduction ever. Check it. I am Brutalitops, the magician. Magic user, baby. What?
And he sits down with the black makeup on, and one of the characters, Shirley, who is a black woman, literally, this is a black woman who has agreed to do this joke, right? Clearly no reservations about this joke. She's on board with this, and it's a black woman, right? Going, we're just gonna ignore that, huh?
So we're just gonna ignore that hate crime, huh?
It's satire. It's meant to be about what is wrong with blackface. It's not meant to be promoting it. I don't know how people can think it's blackface when it's not. Like, what would be blackface is if you're watching a movie or if you were, you know, at a play or something and there was a white or Chinese or whatever, it doesn't matter, just someone that wasn't black that put on the makeup to look like a black person in a rude way, or even just look like a normal black person, but then they make jokes that are demeaning to black people, and the whole thing is about how dumb the character is and blah 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 blah, and all the characters agree on that, and the only one who disagrees is the villain, the only one who, you know, that would be blackface when they're actually promoting, when they're actually saying yep, like we agree with this, then that would be blackface. But this thing with Senior Chang, number one, dark elf, not a black person. Number two, it's meant to be satire about what is wrong with doing things like blackface. It's not advocating for it. That's the whole point of satire, is to educate you in a light comedic format. But the Twitter mob doesn't understand that. I mean, it just annoys me that it's like these rich white girls that are getting offended on the behalf of other people that aren't even offended to get things taken down, right? So that's the Community situation. Now, the next one is The Office, one of my all-time favorite shows. Well, Community is as well, but I put The Office a little bit above just because, man, the awkward humor it has is peak, and every episode is like peak satire.
Welcome to the roast of Mr. Michael Scott.
Several times a day, Michael says words that are way beyond my vocabulary.
I know where this is going.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
Basically, in the episode, it's called Dwight's Christmas, which is, in this, it's like some weird Dutch or German or whatever version of Christmas, and essentially there is an old tradition where it's this guy, a white guy, who dresses up in actual proper blackface and, you know, ridicules, to put it in a nutshell, to put it bluntly. And basically, Dwight is talking about this in the office, and Stanley, one of the black characters, goes, no, Dwight, no.
Black Peter, a slave boy, often portrayed in colorful pantaloons and blackface.
No, Dwight, no.
And then he's like, oh, come on, we don't do that. We don't hold on to all of our outdated traditions. And then he goes into the other room, he calls up his buddy who's in blackface, and he's like, yeah, call it off. And then the guy throws down his hat and walks away.
Oh, come on. We don't blindly stick to every outmoded aspect of our traditions. Come on, get with the spirit of it, you guys.
And again, context is key here. The showrunners aren't saying blackface is okay. They aren't saying that they agree with blackface. In fact, it's saying the opposite. It's using comedy to say, yeah, blackface kind of a bad idea. Because again, the whole thing with blackface is that doing blackface is when you are like actually doing blackface, not doing a joke about it. Actually doing blackface is when you agree with the premise of it and when you're promoting it. This isn't promoting it. If you think about it, it's doing the complete opposite of promoting blackface. It is literally trying to delegitimize it through a joke. Yeah? Because again, it is satire. It is meant to educate you on a political issue, which honestly shouldn't even be political. Well, let's just say on a societal issue without getting too heavy-handed with it. That's the whole point of satire. And the fact that these people can't understand that really annoys me. And the fact that it's meant that a great joke has been written out, has been edited out in The Office's case, and in Community's case, a whole great episode has been completely just dropped. It's not like with these jokes they're being racist, because they're not. Sure, they're edgy jokes that some people might not like, but The Office isn't made for everybody. Community isn't made for everybody. It's made for a specific target audience, right? That will find those jokes funny, yeah? But it doesn't mean that the jokes are racist just because they are edgy satire. You know, I mean, satire kind of has to be edgy because it's talking about edgy topics, right? If it's not edgy, then it's not satire, because satire is literally about those usually heavy-handed topics. And it's an extremity to censor things. You know, when you want to censor things because you don't like them, that is when you are going down the road of being an extremist, of being what you probably don't want to be, of being, you know, like a authoritarian figure in the sense of just the government that you would want in place. You know, that if they disagree with your opinion, then they should be put in jail. And like, because that's where the thinking stems from, is that I don't like this, so it has to be taken down. It's like, you know, there are other opinions in the world, right? That's why it annoys me so much, because it's not about it being a TV show, it's about what caused this to happen in the first place, and also just the fact that the showrunners just bent the knee, you know, like bend the knee. Sure, if you looked at especially The Office's joke at face value, you might think, oh, what is this racist show? But if you watch literally 30 seconds, because it's like a 30-second joke, it's a very quick joke. If you watch like that 30 seconds, you will realize it is not actual like blackface. You know, it's not actual racism. It's meant to be the opposite of that. But of course, people just see the picture, they don't look any further, and then, you know, uproar. So anyway, that's all I have to say for today's video. Sorry there weren't really many jokes or goofs or gaffs or whatever, but just didn't think it really fit the video, and I thought, if I'm gonna make a serious video, I don't want to be screaming and shouting and blah blah blah, because I think it'll probably age badly if I'm all ranty and blah blah blah. We can save the rants for when a gaming company does something bad or blah 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 blah. This is more societal and I think more important. But yeah, Twitter link down below, Discord link down below. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.